growth to slow to 1.4% this year, and unemployment to increase to 4.5%. Inflation has cooled, but CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady tells us the price of used cars is still rising.
What's the inventory like when it comes to used cars? Is this typical?
Down, way down. People are holding on to their cars because they're concerned about the cost of tariffs.
Tom Maioli is the owner of several new and used car dealerships in New York and New Jersey. We first met back in December when tariffs were initially floated. We returned in April, just before those import taxes kicked in. He told us then customers had rushed in to buy new cars. Now, the focus is used cars.
How has the demand for used cars changed with tariffs?
Demand has gone up for used cars. People have decided that maybe they'll get into a used car versus a new car.
A new survey from auto researcher Edmunds shows 58% of respondents are more interested in buying a used car because of tariffs. But Maioli tells us more demand means the trade-in value is higher as well.
How much more are you paying on average?
Anywhere between $1,000 and $2,000 more for a used car.
And then if you're paying $1,000 to $2,000 more, does that mean your customer is paying more as well?
We have to pass it along to the customer.
Other customers are holding on to vehicles longer.
So how has the repair business been with the tariffs?
Repair business is booming. People are trying to repair cars to keep them on the roads versus buying new cars because of the tariffs right now.
Auto parts aren't immune to those tariffs.
The cost of repairs is up.
How much?
Probably about 15% across the board. You know, these parts, like brake parts and pads, come from all over the world.
While business is good, Tom Maioli wishes there was a different approach to trade policy.
You're a supporter of President Trump.
Yes.
What is your message to him when it comes to these auto tariffs?
We had to level the playing field because our trade deficit was out of balance, but I think you should do it with a carrot and not a stick.
If you are thinking about buying a car, auto loan rates will likely remain high. Today I asked Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell, when does his wait-and-see approach hurt rather than help consumers? He said he can't lower rates because of tariff uncertainty.
Kelly O'Grady, thank you.
Now to that breakthrough in the battle against AIDS. Decades after an AIDS diagnosis was a death sentence, the FDA today approved the first drug that is almost totally effective in preventing the disease. It is lenacapavir. To show you just how far we've come, the CDC reported the first cases in 1981. The next year, the disease got a name, acquired immune deficiency syndrome. At high risk men and intravenous drug users, it would be 4 years, 1985, before President Reagan first mentioned AIDS. That same year, actor Rock Hudson announced he had it. In 1987, the FDA approved the first AIDS treatment, AZT. In 1991, Magic Johnson of the LA Lakers announced he was HIV positive. In 1992, AIDS became the #1 cause of death for American men ages 25 to 44. In 1997, highly active antiretroviral therapy increased HIV life expectancy by 15 years. In 2021, the FDA approved the first long-acting shot used for HIV treatment. Since 1981, more than 700,000 people in this country have died of AIDS.
And Dr. John LaPook joins us now. John, people using the word breakthrough for this, does it warrant that?
This is huge. I remember my first patient with HIV/AIDS, March of 1981, first bed on the left. He died, and so did every single patient with HIV I saw for years. Then we had these new drugs that were effective, and the concept of taking a pill every day to prevent HIV/AIDS. The problem was people weren't compliant. They weren't taking it. It was hard to get it to people, and there was a stigma associated with taking it. Now you have an injection twice a year that's more than 99.9% effective at preventing HIV/AIDS in people at high risk.
What are the obstacles that remain here, John? We're hearing the cost is super high.
Yeah, I spoke to a spokeswoman today from Gilead. She said it's going to be about $28,000 a year at list price. But they're making all sorts of efforts, she said, to make it more widely available to everyone. But the problem, of course, is in the United States, we have decreased support from federal programs, both inside the United States and abroad, for HIV prevention. So the question remains, are we going to be able to have access and use and instructions for people who need it?
Dr. John LaPook, thank you.
Still ahead.